Hello and welcome back to another Sub CLE. Today we're continuing on with the Baha Blast Taco Bell theme, the show coming up, and this is the second band in the series. This is the Semi-Pro Skaters. I have Peter and Alex here with me. Guys, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure. So I don't know if you're familiar with this podcast at all, but I hate calling it a podcast because it's just people talking, you know. I don't know, whatever. So I just kind of want to get an understanding. I haven't heard you guys. I haven't done my research.
It's fine.
I'm a poor host.
You've probably heard some of the songs.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure heard the songs.
Okay, all right. So let's just go through and just tell me, as if I don't know anything, which I don't, what's going on with the Semi-Pro Skaters?
Yeah, so we are a Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack tribute band. We play the songs from Tony Hawk, all the songs that you remember sitting in front of your TV playing. That's what we're bringing to you. Trying to get it as exact as possible, trying to really replicate it and all the different sounds and experiences with it. So trying to go hard on it.
That's interesting because, you know, so it's not original music. It's just everything. There's nothing original. Just that's an awesome concept.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. It's all covers, but unique in that it's a cover band for a video game soundtrack that just brings so much nostalgia to people in our age range. But we do throw some of our own things into some of the songs, but we don't really deviate too far.
We really like horns, so if a song doesn't have horns, we'll often add horns into it. We'll build some horn lines to it just to try to bring some of our own.
Okay.
So I guess maybe backtracking on what I said, we do it. We make it our own a little bit, but we try to be as authentic as possible with it.
Okay, so you said horns. So this is a big band?
We actually have 7 now. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want me to go through those.
Please.
So it's me. I'm one of the guitarists. Peter's the singer, another guitarist, bass player, drummer, like a normal rock band. But we also have a saxophone player and a trumpet player. Hoping to add a trombone player at some point. Because there's a lot of ska on the Tony Hawk soundtrack. And since we have them, I mean, horns add a lot to the music at some points, but we also don't want them just standing there while we're...
well, yeah, I mean, obviously. So you kind of ska-ify the songs that aren't ska.
To an extent,
So who came up with this idea?
It was me. So I actually... So my brother is the bass player, and we also grew up with Peter. We've been in bands together before. My brother and I have been playing music our whole lives, but kind of fell off of it, and both got back into it at fairly the same time a couple years ago. But I wasn't really interested in being in a cover band. But on my Spotify, a cover of it was Police Truck, the Dead Kennedy song, but a Megadeth version came on my Spotify, and it just came to me. I was like, does anybody... No, I didn't even say, does anybody? I said, guys, we're making a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater cover band. Here's the lineup.
We had all the pieces. We were told what our job was, and we started working.
So were you playing music before that?
Not as a band currently. Peter, my brother Dan, and I have been in a band in high school, original band. And then we've all been playing music separately, but...
This was our opportunity to once a week get together with all our guy friends, sit down in my basement, that's where we have it, and just play some music. We all did our own things. We all practiced our crafts, but wanted to bring it together as a group.
That's really cool. I mean, I love that concept. I mean, So yeah, I mean, is it all like what is it? It's like 90s music or early aughts or
even some.
I don't even. I'm not familiar
80s.
With the new Tony Hawk games. I mean, are there new ones? I don't know.
Kind of. They've so 1 and 2 are what I was most familiar with, and they put out a remake like kind of during COVID.
Right.
So I got back into it then, but I played it as a kid when it first came out, and Like I think the most memorable song for a lot of people is Superman by Goldfinger.
Okay.
A ska song. So as soon as a lot of people hear that song, they, myself included, think about skating around.
Okay.
In those games.
I mean, it came out in 97? Is that when Tony Hawk came out?
Maybe, something like that. Maybe even 98, 99. Okay.
So that's where a lot of it, like those original songs, they've added new songs in with the different tracks. There's a new game coming out on July 11th this year.
But we're not getting paid by Activision.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah. So they'll have some new tracks on that I think they're bringing in.
Okay. So
there's a lot of games.
Yeah.
So basically, whenever they put out a new game, you have a whole new list of songs to learn.
But they're not like releasing games anymore now, really, other than some remakes. So really, we're going for the like first 2 to 3 games, the nostalgia from those.
Nice. How long have you guys been doing this?
It's been about a year.
Yeah, been about a year.
Yeah, because we started March last year.
And the fun thing is, in the game, you only hear 2 minutes of each song because they cut it off and they only do small snippets of it. So you get to hear more of the songs when we're playing them. The songs are all short; they're all like 2 minutes and 30 seconds anyway.
Yeah, these punk songs are like
it's pretty cool.
No, that really is a cool concept. So, where do you guys play at around here, or do you travel around? I mean,
really getting started here in the local scene as much as we can. With Sick Lever, that's how he says it. I think Franco and him bringing us in and getting us a couple of different gigs, reaching out to local venues to play around, be local support for different people. It's a pretty fun concept. So, we can bring people in just to listen for fun, and then, whether it's an opener or a headliner. But we've played a couple of different local shows, but really ramping that up. That's our goal coming up here.
Before we started this, you guys said you were going to Tokyo. Is that to play, or is that just for fun?
Just for fun. And hey, but maybe we try to book some shows.
I would like to see some shows in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, have you ever been there before?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's definitely fun. So just, you mentioned one song, but. I think I need a refresher. Just list like a bunch of songs that you guys are. What are you?
I guess for me, like the most nostalgic from the games, we said Superman, Psycho Vision. It's either Suicide Machines or Suicidal Tendencies, and then there's New Girl by one of those bands as well. Yeah. I mentioned Police Truck by Dead Kennedys.
She's Famous Now.
Yeah, that's by. Trying to blank now. Real Big Fish, ska band. Evil Eye is by. God, now I'm drawing a
me too.
Drawing a blank. I know
all the names of the songs, but not necessarily all the bands who write them.
I do. I'm just.
I thought I was going to recognize more of those songs, and I don't. But the thing is, I don't really know like song names.
They're pretty iconic.
Bands I like. I don't know the song names. I just listen to it,
Yeah. And these songs, I wouldn't necessarily say most of them are super famous outside of the games, but for people who've played the games, they're pretty recognizable.
Right. Yeah, because I played some games where I know it's like, I don't know, was it Gran Turismo? I think I played a lot, so or Grand Theft Auto. They have a soundtrack to that. So let's talk about like the what part of Cleveland did you guys like?
Yeah, we're all near East Side.
East Side.
Yeah, Cleveland Heights. Pretty much. We actually.
Well, awesome. I'm glad to have you guys on because everybody else is from the West Side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we grew up on the same street growing up in Cleveland Heights, and but we're pretty much all from East Side now.
We got one guy who comes from Lakewood, and we practice at my house in South Euclid. Okay. So everybody meets there. We got a band room in the basement. Monday nights awesome. We jam, and so we got one guy in the West Side, and then the rest of us are in South Euclid, University Heights, Cleveland Heights area.
Okay. Alex, how'd you get into guitar? Like, what was it that drew you to it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, my dad played guitar, still does, but I think I just always had a tendency towards music. I played sports, but was never good at them. But I had to start on piano, but just wanted to play guitar. So I started guitar lessons when I was 10. Actually, kind of an interesting story, but with a classical guy who later he knew I wanted to play rock, suggested that I go to a rock blues guy. So I took rock guitar lessons for most of my life up until college, kind of fell off on guitar. But as I've been getting into it, I actually ran into my first guitar teacher and started lessons again with him this past year doing classical. So,
really?
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So it's kind of come full circle in that. So I still love electric and rock and stuff, but it's been satisfying to learn that as well with my first ever guitar teacher.
So maybe you can incorporate do classical versions of Tony Hawk.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
And Pete, do you go by Pete or Peter? It's
dealer's choice.
Yeah. Were you always singing? Were you like singing in the shower and then try out for American Idol?
It was kind of a prerequisite in my family. You have to be somewhat musical, otherwise you're shunned from it. No, but we all, that's where I started playing music. We grew up. I got 16 cousins on one side. We got an uncle who leads the show. He brings his guitar everywhere we go. We sing all our songs. And that's all like James Taylor and Van Morrison kind of thing.
Oh, sweet.
And then I play the guitar a little bit here and there. I strum the chords, can play some finger picking, but that's
it's guys like you that I play a little bit, and then you give him a guitar and he's like just playing everything.
Yeah, you took lessons for a bit, right?
I did, but really just singing. I like to be on stage, front and center. So being the singer in a band is the right place for me.
Nice, that's cool. Now. Is this so? You're obviously doing the classical thing. You come from a musical background. I mean, you guys do music. You're basically doing this for fun. Right?
Oh yeah. We all have jobs.
Yeah, right. Now, as far as I always kind of. I kind of want to get into the psyche of musicians.
Let's do it.
It's like I know that, but we were talking about with the introduction of AI, as far as like artwork, and you can say give it a prompt and it'll give you this piece of artwork. But I argue that it's not going to eliminate the need for humans to create art, because I think if you're creating art for the final results, I think it's the wrong reason. I think it's the process of going through it, and it's almost like a channeling, almost and a therapy in some way. And I think the only way, that's what art is to me. It's like, I have to express myself in some way. Like your lungs, you breathe in, you breathe out. Your brain, you breathe. We're always watching TV, doom scrolling, doing all this stuff, and then there's no release. And I think the release is being in the band, expressing yourself in some kind of creative way. Do you guys find that is that satisfying to you? I don't know. I'm not trying to put you on the but is that something that you feel? Is it, obviously you guys both come from music, so I think a lot of people kind of take that for granted, but just, I don't know, give me your thoughts on that. But I don't know.
I think, AI is big. I encounter it day in and day out in what I do for work, but that's what makes these types of events like Baha Blast so important, because what what AI can't do is the human interaction side of it. It can't do the community, the camaraderie that comes along with playing live shows, seeing people out there enjoying the music, getting that thrill from it.
Right.
You can't get that from an AI scenario. So that I don't think can ever be taken away. Right. And then the feeling and the emotion that you get from playing music, that adrenaline that you get, just will never be replaced. And so you're always going to have people wanting to create it. Maybe we'll find ways to create music, just as we have with, MIDI keyboards and all this stuff. Like, technology can make music better, but it's not going to replace the live, certainly the live side of it. And I think you see that in major performances as well. That's how they make their money these days, is going on tour.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, you would definitely be missing the live aspect with AI music, but for me at least, I just think there's something. Maybe a song will be good if it's made by an AI, but then I think if I knew it was made by AI, I would be turned off by it. Yeah. Well, the other thing about a lot of good music is I think it's the imperfections that we like.
Sure.
And I don't, at least right now, I think AI would probably put out like some perfect pop song that follows all the rules perfectly.
Yeah.
Versus, like, I don't know, maybe blues or jazz guys who part of that structure is playing the wrong notes, but they sound good in that context.
Well, I remember seeing a video with Victor Wooten. He was showing about playing bass, and he's like, there are no wrong notes. As long as you're grooving out, there's no wrong notes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's true. I mean, we are limited in our Western style of music. We're limited to specific notes where there are different frequencies in between those notes,
The microtones.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I mean, the live thing, and I've said too, it's like, if somebody's looking, if you have a business and you say, and you need a logo for your business, you have AI do it, whatever, who cares? Yeah, you don't need some artistic vision for that,
or those, I think some of those Spotify playlists out there, like you search relaxing mood music, I think that'll be the kind of thing that's AI. And
and I and people are like, oh, it's going to take, but I think it's going to make human created art more valuable. It's like those like diamonds or an emerald or something, it's the purity of it. I don't know if this is making sense to you. I don't know.
People like the imperfections.
And like you were saying.
It's like if you, I forget the word for it, but when you program drums on a computer, there's often a feature, like a knob that says, like, basically add imperfections. Sure. So it sounds more human.
Yeah. So they're not all being hit exactly the same way, because a human wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's funny because, as a human drummer or whatever, you're looking to get as perfect as you possibly can. But then when you have like a machine that does it exactly perfect, it doesn't sound good. There's this certain level of human interaction that makes it human. I don't think AI is ever going to replicate that. I mean, you might get close. They said, like with recording music, analog, it was like digital was never going to be as good as analog. But now it's like, some people argue if you're listening to a record that was recorded on analog on a really good system, and I could see that how, it's just waveforms. Whereas there is probably some harmonic something in.
Maybe it sounds more like a room. Versus,
right. Whereas like the digital doesn't exactly have that, but they're going to get so close eventually one day but it's still not created by a human. I think that's what would make it worth it. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. In like 10 years, we're not even going to be sitting here. It's just going to be like a avatar of us, and then
we'll just think to each other.
So how did you guys get on? How do you know Franco, and how did you guys get on to the Baha Blast? I mean, I'll tell you what, it is a blast. I've been there. Have you played it before?
No, we have not.
We played battle of the bands, to get into this one.
Yeah.
But no, we have not played.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was just like a passion scenario. We knew this event existed. We thought this would be a really great thing for our band. It'd be it's just a really cool event in the Cleveland area. So just on a whim, we reached out, got on the battle. I think people enjoyed it. We brought a little bit of a different feel, which we're excited about. We're excited to, kind of mesh some of these communities. The music community is so accepting and it's so wide that we felt comfortable kind of being a little bit like the ska and the punk side of things. And I think Franco was excited by that. He liked the feel of it. He's done, video game things in the past, so I think that shtick was good.
Yeah.
People enjoyed, I think, the show that we put on. But it was just a happen chance. We've got the saxophone player in our band, Jordan, was like our band manager. We let him do a lot. I took the lead on this with the emails, but usually that would be Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, he's good at promoting.
Yeah, he's great at it. He's good at communicating, and he just took a leap of faith and reached out and got rolling with it.
That's cool. Now, have you been to the previous ones, or you just no?
We have not. I have not, at least.
No, I know a couple of my friends have and really enjoyed it, but no, I've never.
Yeah, I went to the last one, and that's when I may have met Franco before that, but just but officially met him at that last one, because I went there and I'm like, well, this is crazy. This is like,
it's such a novel concept, and like it's such a great idea.
Right. It's perfect. And I was just like, I gotta, because I heard about it the one, and then I was like, man, I gotta try. And then eventually made it to the last one. I was like, who the heck put this on? How did this get put together? Who's talking to the manager over at Taco Bell? Is this okay?
Yeah, is Taco Bell okay with it?
Right. Yeah. And, and then I started talking to Franco, and, he's chill. He's super cool. And he was just saying, him and some other guys, whatever, just put it together. And I guess the first one got shut down,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Was the first one not like a regulated thing?
I guess all the T's weren't crossed and the I's weren't dotted, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I had Franco on here. I think he explained it, but, I drink beer and stuff, so I forgot. But anyone, go back and watch that podcast with Franco, and you find out all about it. So do you guys know the lineup or what time you're going to be playing yet, or is it still up in the air?
Yeah, we're second. So if it starts at 4:20, we'll probably go on sometime around like 4:50, 5 o'clock ish. We got about 15 minutes or so each set. Right. There's a lot of guys on the ticket, or a lot of groups on the ticket.
Yeah.
And so just trying to make sure everybody gets their timing. And so that's probably when we'll be on, coming in second, get everybody going. There's going to be a skate park, so hopefully get some skaters there early.
Well, so is it going to be an actual skate park? Because I know you had the fingerboards last time.
Yeah, I think he's going to at least set some ramps. And,
maybe they'll bring some.
That's cool.
So if you are a skateboarder, come out early, come skate to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack and live your childhood. That's what we want you to do.
That is so cool. All right, yeah. I guess I'm trying to get to. So if you weren't doing this, and you were. Do you write songs? Do you write music at all?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I write. I've got just books of writing and things like that. I tend to listen to a lot of different styles of music, and I listen to people who I think are pretty poetic in it. Yeah. As an example, just like my favorite artist. It's on in my car right now, Chance the Rapper. Nice. That's just because I love his lyrics. Yeah. I love the way he can string things together. I like Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, the greatest American poet, things like that. So I immerse myself in that kind of approach.
Singer-songwriter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just got turned on to Ren the other day. I don't know if you're familiar.
Not familiar. No, I'll have to check it out.
It's like a British Wales. I don't know if I'm offending the British or
one of the British
Welsh
Isles. Or something.
Over there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's got like a hip hop. He raps, but he also plays guitar, piano, and stuff like that.
I think I actually maybe have come across him in some of the social media
world. Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
REN?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not MC Ren. I mean, that's
right.
Totally different. Totally different thing. And then Alex, so are you really into classical?
No, the classical. I could ramble about it, but I still would say electric is my primary musical thing that I focus on. The classical has been kind of a way for me to learn more theory.
Okay.
So I kind of neglected that as a kid, just wanted to play. So I do enjoy the classical and learning more about the structure of music. But for guitar, I do like writing stuff. We don't do that now, but I really like improv, like jamming, playing some blues jams or something like that. I just like being able to hold the guitar and not have a structure and just play and be the most annoying guitarist.
Have you done any open mics around town? Or?
No, but I want to. I would like to do like a blues jam open mic or something.
Yeah, there's I think it's on Wednesday at Spotlight.
Okay.
I think it's Wednesday. I've been up there a few times. There's a guitar player that hosts that.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
I hate bringing it up because now I forgot the guy's name. But really good. And then the bass player, he's a luthier, so I was checking out his bass. Yeah, and really nice. And once I had the bass, I wasn't looking to play, and then just all of a sudden the band started playing. I'm like, wait, well, hold on, I don't know.
What do they
He's
do?
like, you know James Brown, right? I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, you got it. It's E, whatever.
So
I'm
it's
like,
pretty casual.
No, I don't. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna do this.
yeah, I'm here now. Yeah, that sounds cool. I want to get more involved in that kind of stuff.
And what else? There's
I heard there's actually Cleveland Blues Society that puts on something. Maybe once a month, like some kind of blues jam open mic.
Where would that be? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it rotates.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't looked into it yet.
Stop or something. Maybe.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this Taco Bell. I hope you know what I hope. I hope it doesn't get I hope it gets really big and peaceful. I hope it doesn't get really big and out of hand, because I kind of want it to continue on. Because if it gets out of hand, it just seems like, I don't know. What do you guys think this is going, man? Because you haven't been to one, Because the last time there were so many people there, I'm like, this is going to get shut down. I don't know what.
Luckily, we're second.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday. I have to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to not get hurt.
And I think Franco's being conscientious of it, keeping the spirit of it, keeping it this show that you can really enjoy, but setting some boundaries, setting some rules so that we don't have that happen, that we don't go too overboard, but not making it so it's not a fun event. I mean, you're bringing in some of the probably more wild bands that you're going to see in the Cleveland area, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get wild. People are going to have fun.
But I think for the most part, people in the pit are, even though it looks violent, people are respectful.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, it's always been that way. In the pits, it's like as soon as somebody falls, you got 9 people picking you up. Man, there's a lot of people that showed up last time.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, and the fact there's not even any alcohol. Which is kind of makes it better. But I didn't miss it. I mean, you can go over to Funhouse next door and you can get a beer if you want. But the fact that there's no alcohol there and it's packed. I mean, I think the novelty of it really attracts people. I think
so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people who aren't into heavier music or punk or that kind of stuff. We just want to go because it's the show at the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the might be a little bit ahead on this, but I think the alcohol-fueled form of entertainment has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit.
Nice.
I think people have realized, like, hey, you can have fun, you can enjoy yourself without just being completely plastered or having some sort of mind-altering substance that's going on.
There
And
goes. I was going to say, well, you just take ecstasy.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah,
Or
but
Molly, I'm
that
sorry,
way
I'm
you
sorry.
aren't. It's not a long-term thing. You can pop it and you can go, and then it's nobody else's business but your own at that
Yeah.
point. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you guys drink or? Yeah.
We drink Coronas. It's Monday night Coronas for band practice. Everybody's got to bring a case every practice, so we always have plenty.
Those Coronas are going to go up like $3,
Dude, is that where this podcast is going now? Because we were talking about it all on the way here.
Oh,
It's
were
like
you?
you just can't escape.
Can't escape.
Well, no, you can. Well, yeah, no, I try not to do the political thing. Even we probably all are like-minded. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But you can't escape the reality of our situation right now.
Well, I was talking to. I'm just going to go on a whole. I was talking to a friend from. She's Irish, but she lives in London. And we're talking, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta come visit." I was like, "Well, you gotta come visit." And she's like, "I'm not going there."
Yeah, there's a travel advisory.
I'm like, "That's odd." And she's like, "Everything's like super expensive there, isn't it?" I'm like, "You live in London. I mean, that's pretty expensive."
Good point.
But then we were kind of going, and I was like, "Well, no, it is." Probably more expensive here. It's crazy to say, and to have somebody from another country go, "I'm not going to the U.S." You're like, when was the last time you heard somebody say that?
It's a different place than when we grew up.
I'm curious to see where it goes.
Curious, yeah.
I've always said, if I see the end of the world, it's pretty cool because how many people have lived and died and not saw the end of the world?
Yeah.
Most.
Most of them, right? So, all right. Well, on that high note, anything else you guys want to say? Any shows coming up? How do we get a hold of you? How do people see you?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. You can follow us, Semi-Pro Skaters. You'll catch some of our music. We are open to seeing some shows. We're going to play in it just came up, so I don't have a lot of details on it, but a suicide prevention group is hosting a show, so we'll have some more information of that on social media as it comes out. Just trying to support that community and mental health awareness. We're working with a couple venues for July to try to get a show going for the release. We think that would be pretty fun.
The release of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 3 remake.
The remake of it.
Oh, the game, not the... Wait, are you guys putting out a recording or
no? They're
this
just
is
remaking the
Okay.
two of the games, and we're like, we're the Tony Hawk band. We should play a release party unpaid. So, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
But
hey, you never know. I mean, if somebody hears the right thing or whatever, I mean,
if anybody knows Tony Hawk,
anybody out there, Tony Hawk,
put us in touch.
But we're really just excited to continue to be a part of the community. And
awesome.
if people are interested in working with us, reach out. We'll work with you, and we'll play shows. We'll open for you. Whatever. We got a couple of guys with some kids on the way, so we got to navigate all that.
Right.
My brother, the bass player, he just had a kid. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I was in a band for about 20 years, and what killed the band was one of the guys had a kid.
That'll do it.
we still make him come to practice. He said he got earmuffs for the kids, so soon we'll just bring the kid with us. It's no excuses.
Right. It takes a village.
It takes a village, right? And we're the village.
It takes a band.
All right, guys. Peter, Alex, I mean, it really good meeting you guys. I really am genuinely looking for, I know people say this crap, but I'm genuinely looking forward to that show. Cool. I hate that it's on a Sunday, though, but, whatever.
Yeah.
It is, Star Wars Day?
May the 4th be with you.
Wasn't it supposed to be Kent State Day?
Was that event on that day?
Yeah, I think
so.
And Star Wars took it over.
It will be a Revenge of the 5th the next day for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
All right. Yep. I will. I'll be there.
Awesome.
With the bells on. All right. Sub CLE. We're out.